There are many design elements that you can add to your HTML documents using CSS or cascading style sheets. This video will show you how to add color to the text on your HTML documents. Now basically there are 3 ways to define color in your CSS. Now I say basically because there are actually 6 different ways. Hexadecimal colors, RGB colors, which stands for red, green, blue, RGBA colors, which with CSS3 the A is the ability to add an alpha channel to your RGB color scheme. Then we have HSL, which stands for hue, saturation, and lightness. And we also have the HSLA, which basically is the same thing, hue, saturation, lightness, but also with the alpha channel added. Then we have the predefined cross-browser color names, and there's about 143 of those different colors. Well, that's like the red, the blues, even cornflower blue. But the 3 most common ways of those 6 are the hex code, RGB, and the color names. Here, let's take a look at an example in our editor. Now, I've added some content here in the body section, and up here in the head section, I've already defined some styles, one for our body background color, one for the H1 tag, one for the H2 tag, and a class style for the paragraph, and I just named this Fried. Now, one of the cool things about class selectors and ID selectors, and this is a class selector, is that you can name them whatever you want. And in most cases, it's a better idea to go ahead and name them something related to the actual styling. For example, this one is going to be a blue paragraph, so it would have probably been better, just for organizational purposes, to name this something like P.blue color or blue paragraph or something like that. But I named it Fried just to let you know that, yeah, you can name it whatever you want. And I've got the 3 basic color schemes up here. The hexadecimal code, which in this example begins with a pound sign, number sign, hashtag, octothorpe, whatever you want to call it, and the name, the color name, and the RGB, or the red, green, blue. And anytime that you're defining colors, to remain W3C compliant, you should also go ahead and define the body background color as well. That's why I went ahead and put this up here. Even though this E5, E5, E5 hexadecimal code is pretty close to white, I made it just a little on the gray side of things just so that you can see that it is different than the white background of a default page. And just like all CSS syntax, we've got the opening curly bracket, we've got the property, in this case it's the color, then we've got the colon, then we've got the value for that property, that in this case is the hexadecimal code for green, and then we've got the semicolon, and then we've got the closing curly bracket. So let's go ahead and take a look at this in our editor's browser. Go ahead and open this up here in Komodo. And here we go. You can see that the background color, this E5, it's a bit on the gray side. And then the H1 tag is green. Anywhere that the H1 tag is being used down here in the content area, the text between the opening and closing H1 tag is going to be green. And for the H2 tag, the text between the opening and closing H2 tag is going to be red. And wherever I've got the class defined for the paragraph as Fried, that content between the opening and closing P tag or paragraph tag is going to be, as we see down here, blue. Now you can add additional properties and values up here, but this video being on color and not anything else, I didn't want to confuse the issue. So if you wanted to have maybe the text italicized, or you want to have the text in a larger font, you would be able to add those items in here as well to affect everything that was in this particular class or in this particular selector. Now that's how you can add color to blocks. What if you wanted to add color to, say, just a couple of words and not the entire block of text? Then you could use what's called inline CSS and the span tag. Let me demonstrate that real quick. Let's say in this first paragraph, we wanted just these 2 words right here, lorem ipsum, to be yellow, or whatever color you wanted. And that would be, where are we at here? First paragraph, right here. So at the beginning, we want to put our opening span tag. Then we want to put a space. Then we want to put in the word style equals, then our opening double quote, the word color, colon. And in this example, I'm going to use the color name, and I'm going to go cornflower blue. Then let's close up those double quotes, close that opening span tag, and the way this editor is set up, it automatically adds the closing span tag right there. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that out of there and put that on the opposite side of the text I want to be affected by this span tag right here. And let's save this, and let's see what this looks like right here. You see here, that's the color cornflower blue. That's one of the 140 some odd color names that most browsers will recognize. And that's how you can add color to just a couple of words or more within a block of text. Now, before closing out this video, I want to also mention that there is an HTML5 tag called mark, and how it adds a background color or highlight to a word or a group of words. You can also style this with your CSS. Let me demonstrate that real quick. Let's go ahead and come on down here in the second paragraph. That's already got some style to it. And let's try the lorem ipsum here, right here. I'm going to put the opening mark tag. And again, this editor goes ahead and throws in the closing mark tag there. Let's go ahead and cut that out of there. Paste that right here and save. And again, that's this right here. Bring this up. And by default, the mark tag highlights in yellow. Now you can go ahead and style this as well. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. Come on up here into our head section where the style is. Let's go ahead and put our cursor there and get us another blank spot there for our mark styling. And just like the other styling, here's our selector that we're going to be styling. In this case, it's mark. And we got our opening curly bracket. Then I'm going to change the background color. That's our property. Then the colon, and then the value. In this case, khaki. Another demonstration of one of the wild names of the colors that most browsers will recognize. Let's go ahead and save this. And there you go. Now, of course, khaki's a little bit on the beige side of things, but that's it. And of course, you can do this however you want using RGB, hex code, or the color name. Thusly. Now, if you're interested in seeing more color names, you could just do a search for HTML color names, or you can check out this site here. That's html-color-names.com/color-chart.php. This lists 140 color names, and I think actually I've seen elsewhere where there's 143 or 147. So I think 140 is still plenty to get you going. And that is how you can add color to your HTML documents text. Thanks for watching, and you have a great day.